Hey everybody, it's Carol with Refunction Crafts, and today I'm just going to make a little pocket purse. I've been wanting to do another one of these, so I thought, oh, why not just pick up a video while I'm doing it. So I've been working on the little handbags for my granddaughters, and I finished one of them. The other one is in progress, or in process, I should say. I haven't made a lot of progress on the second one yet, but I will probably finish that today or tomorrow. But anyway, I just thought, I had these beige jeans that I had cut up, and I've been wanting to do something with these. This is just the inside of this pocket, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to leave that on there. It was actually the inside of the pocket that was on the inside of the jeans. And this is that outer, like, little pocket that goes inside the big pocket kind of thing, like that. So anyway, I cut that out, and I thought, how cute would that be to have, like, a little double pocket? So that's what I did. And so for a person who has just a couple of keys on their key ring or a little pocket change that they want to pop in there, they can pop it in there if they're just wanting to take a little pocket purse with them. So anyway, I've also got this. This is a heart that I cut out in the jeans, and I want to make a heart. Now this, I really kind of want to fringe it on the outside. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm only going to cut a very short fringe. So first things first, that's what we're going to do first. So let's go ahead. Oh, okay. I also grabbed a couple of other things. I cut out some smaller butterflies yesterday, and I just cut them out whole. I got to thinking about the other ones, and like I said, I had watched a video to do those, and I did it like they did it in the video. And I kind of just felt like, why are we cutting these in pieces now? I forget. Except for that middle piece, because I do kind of feel like that's helpful to put on the front. So on these, I may cut out just a separate little double piece to put on these little butterflies. But I cut out some small ones, so I'm going to be making those too. And then I also cut out a couple of hearts. I cut one out in this jean, and then, of course, I already showed you this one in the brown denim. So I'm going to be doing a couple of hearts as well, because I like hearts and butterflies. Those seem to be my two favorite things to work on. So I thought, why not make some hearts? So anyway, what I'm going to do, let me read this quote, and I don't think I've read this one before. But I kind of went back to it, and I had stored it in my phone because I really liked it. Here's how it goes. Sometimes I miss who my kids used to be, not because I want them small again, but because I wish I could go back, hold them tighter, say I'm sorry for the times I got it wrong, and laugh a little longer at moments I didn't know would end. How many of us don't think about that with our children as we get older? We think about, now we start thinking about, oh gosh, I did this wrong, or I did that wrong, or I didn't say this, or I forgot to say that, and I didn't hug them tight enough or long enough or say I love you enough. Now, I did say I love you to my kids every single day, probably multiple, at least 5 times a day, every day of their life when they were living with me. And that was important to me. When I was growing up, the words I love you didn't come up in my family much. And it wasn't because I had a single mom. My daddy wasn't around much, but I had a single mom. She was the sweetest, kindest woman you ever wanted to meet. But the words I love you were not said in my house, and that was because they weren't said to my mother when she was young. My mother didn't really know how to express herself real well when it came to feelings and emotions and love and things like that. other than to just be the kindest person in the whole wide world. That was who my mother was. And with that, I was okay. She was never mean. Never ever did she ever hit me. I never gave her a reason to. But she never hit me. She never swore at me. My mother wouldn't say a swear word if somebody paid her to do it. She was the best mom ever. And I considered her, she told me one time, I got in a little argument with one of my little girlfriends when I was probably 10. And this I will never forget. My mother, I told her I didn't have any friends and I was feeling sad and I was really hurt because she was my best friend in the whole wide world. And I had known her since birth. I mean, literally since birth. And I cried and I cried and I cried. And my mama just looked at me and she said, honey, don't you worry about it. She says, you don't need those other kids. Sometimes kids get mad. It'll be okay. You guys will be friends again, but I'll be your best friend. So, you know, she was just like, what do you want to do? Do you want to have some fun? Do you want to do something? Let's do something. She says, I'll be your best friend today. And I was just so taken in by that I always, for the rest of my life, honest to goodness, considered my mother. I realized what it was to have a true best friend. My mom was my mom. She was a great mom. But she was my best friend. She truly was. I could tell her anything my whole life long. Anything. I could tell her my deepest, darkest secrets. No judgment. No hassles. No junk. She just would listen to me. If I asked for advice, she'd give it to me. Not a lot of it, but she'd give it to me. And she would tell me if I did something wrong, obviously. And this is not to say that I was the best kid since sliced bread, because I wasn't. I did a lot of things that I got away with that my mother never knew about. And that was mostly in my teenage years. But, oh my gosh, she was just the sweetest, kindest person ever. And she was my best friend. And I wish I could go back to her as well and say some things. You know, after I got married, I married into a family that was very big on hugs and kisses and I love yous. And I learned, at first it was very hard for me. I had a hard time taking that in. I had a hard time with the hugs, but my ex-husband had an aunt who and his grandmother. They were taking those hugs and kisses whether you wanted it or not. They were going to grab you, hold you in close and tight, and they were going to hug you, and they were going to give you smooches, and they were going to tell you how much they loved you. And because of those two women in my life, I learned how to love and say I love you and give hugs and kisses and be okay with it. I learned to be able to do that with friends, not just family, but my best friends, the people that I loved, you know, outside of my family, the people that I loved the most. And it was awesome. And so I then took what I learned and I took it back to Mama. And I started pulling Mama in and giving her big hugs and kisses and telling her I love you. And every time we talked on the phone, I love you, Mom. She'd say it back. She started liking that. And she realized that it wasn't so hard to say I love you to someone that you know is going to give it back. You're going to get that love back. And I had so much love for my mother. So I just got to say that. But I hope that someday my kids will have that kind of love for me. If I'm being honest, I don't feel it. I don't feel the kind of love that I had for my mom coming back at me, but maybe that's because, you know, maybe it's because of something I did that the kids aren't talking about, or maybe it's, you know, maybe they just don't. Kids are different these days. You know, these late 30s and 40-somethings don't think like we did as young adults. I used to go and I would pick my mom up probably once every 3 weeks. Sometimes it'd be once a month, depending on how much time we had. We would visit and we would talk on the phone all the time, but I would go pick her up at least once a month, and we would go thrift store shopping. And that was my mother's favorite thing to do. And it was my favorite thing to do because I was doing it with my mom. And for me, that was a very important thing to do with my mother. And it was important for me that my mother know just how much I loved her, and that she was never unloved or unwanted or unnecessary in my life, because she was necessary. She was the most necessary person in my life for a long time. So there are things that I would like to go back and do with my kids and have those times last longer, because now I know what happens when kids grow up. And they really don't want to be around as much as they used to, and I get it. They have families of their own. They have lives of their own. They're busy. But I wish the busyness didn't take over. It's not just that. It's lots of other things, you know, that you don't go into on a YouTube channel. But, you know, there's just a lot of stuff that goes into that. And we need to be more mindful of that when we're raising our kids, too, as parents. You know, and I hope my kids are instilling those kinds of values in my grandkids. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know that they are... I know my daughter is a very loving mother. I know she loves her baby girl so much. I mean, to the moon and back. But if I'm being honest with you, I don't really know a lot about how they're raising her as far as that sort of thing is concerned. So my grandson, he wants nothing to do with anybody. So he's very shy and standoffish. So I don't know yet. The jury's still out on that one. And then I've got 5 grandchildren on my husband's side. And they're all pretty outspoken kids. They, with the exception of one, they tell you, I love you, Grandma, and I wish we could do this, Grandma, and can I come over and do this with you? And they ask me all the time, you know, if we can do stuff. So I know how they feel. And it's easy. It comes very easy to them. They were raised that way, and I have spent a lot of time with them. So my other ones, they're still very, very young. They're only 4 years old. So they've got some growing to do before all the jury will come out on that and say, you know, what they're going to be like. So anyway, okay, let's go. I got to stop talking. I just liked that quote, so I thought I would share it with you guys. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start cutting into this around the edge, because I am going to fringe it all the way around. I did forget, I don't have my stuffing for this. I'm going to stuff this just a little bit, just with a little bit of stuffing. So I'm going in about 1/4 of an inch here, all the way around. I wish I could do this a little bit faster, but we're going to speed up the camera now. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to do the same thing on this. I'm going to make some fringe to go along the bottom of this pocket. So I'm trying to figure out how am I going to do this and make it look good. I kind of feel like what I should do is take another piece of this fabric and glue it around the back side. I think I'm going to do that. I'll be right back. Okay, this is just a piece of fabric that was around the bottom of the leg. So I'm just going to take this. First I'm going to try and, I don't know if this is going to matter or not, but try and cut into this and get this part unfolded. That was pretty easy. Let's see if the other side goes that easy. It's got that big, thick seam over here, so I don't know if it's going to be as easy, but I think we'll get it. I had to do this to another pair too, and it pretty well was fairly simple to get it apart, and this one's pretty easy too. There we go. Voila! I just wanted to make it a little bit longer so that I can cut it. Doesn't matter that it's not as wide. I'm not concerned about that. I'll fringe it around the edges and it'll just be, you know, the fringe will be just different lengths, and that's okay, because that's what I'm doing anyway with this extra little piece of fringe that I'm doing here. So we're all good. I don't even know if I'm going to need that, honestly, but I did want to have a little bit of longer fringe. So let's see. I'm trying to think, do I want to keep it doubled? Try and cut this a little bit in sync with the bottom shaping of this. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take and fold one portion of this back and glue it down. And then the other side I'll just glue to the pocket. But that way it'll be a little bit thicker and, I don't know, maybe a little bit more sturdy in the end. We'll see. I don't know that this is going to matter really at all, but we're going to try and make it matter. I mean, I honestly don't know why I'm doing this, but we could leave that even open, and I could fringe, or you know what? Aha, what we could do is take this, because I was going to fold this in anyway, take it, and we'll cut these corners in like that. And we can take this, tuck it inside there, like that, and we can make it a double pocket. How's that sound? I think it sounds kind of cool. And this is, again, this is another little no-sew project, so I'm gonna, let me see, let me cut this off a little bit more over here. That seam is just so thick, it makes it a little bit more hard to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our glue sticks here. I'm going to need another glue stick. I'm gonna glue these two pieces together. Just like that. And then we've still got this piece, and it's going to go inside the big pocket. I need to... I'm not loving the way that looks, but I think what I'm going to do is I've got some lace here, and I think I'm probably going to lace that across. I might put like 2 little layers of lace and double layer it. So that's going to cover that little spot right there. So let's go ahead and let's fold this side in. Okay, pop that up and pop that in, and this side I need to fold a little better. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, so that's all popped in. Those are glued together there, and then I just have to glue this on the back side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to go just around this pocket seam. That seems like a good place to glue from. And then we'll go right across here and put a few lines in the middle. And there we go. We've got that, and we've got that. Pretty cool, huh? I added something I didn't know I was going to do. The only thing I've got is this little spot right here. I'm not loving that. So I'm not quite sure. I think maybe what I'll end up doing is fringing that right there. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll take this and I'll glue right there. And I'll glue right there. And then we can fringe this outer part. It's just a little tiny piece, honestly. Okay. It's going to be, you know, rough around the edges anyway, so it really doesn't matter, guys. Okay, so we've just got this kind of a mess of a situation here, but what we're going to do is I am going to glue it. Let me turn this inside out. I want to try something and see if it... No, I can't do that. Okay, never mind. I was trying to think about something. I'm trying to learn. I used to make tote bags. And of course I made them really nicely and they came out so cute and so well done. But I can't remember how I squared off the bottoms of them to make them like, so they went this way more than just flat, you know, but this is really meant to be kind of a little flat pocket. So what I want to do is I want to start sort of at the top of the pocket, and I'm just going to go along where I feel that pocket. And that's where I'm going to glue that part together, just like that. Okay, so that's filled in. That's already sewn together, so we don't need to worry about that. And that looks pretty good. Can you guys see that? There we go. See, all sewn together. Okay, so now it looks like a ragged mess, right? Well, that's okay. Not for long. I am going to make sure that all of my edges are together the way that they should be, and that nothing is opened up or not together. And there's a couple spots here where it looks like the glue had kind of already hardened before I got it pressed down. And I want to press it hard because I really want it to go into that fabric. I want it to like almost weave into that fabric, that hot glue. And that way it's not going to go anywhere, you guys. So we're just kind of going over all those spots and pressing super hard. There's a little spot right there. And I mean, this is just a fun little pocket purse, you guys. It's nothing big, no big whoop-de-doo or anything. It's just a fun little pocket purse. So don't take it too seriously. Now, if you're a sewer, sew this doggone thing together and make it super duper strong. I'm not a camera sewer. I can sew. And I do sew handbags when I make them. But my sewing machine is broken, so I can't sew right now, you guys. So it's a bummer for me because I do love to sew certain things before I do this kind of stuff. Because I feel like it's going to be stronger and all that good stuff. But, you know, sometimes you just can't. Okay, so now we've got this, and we want to add this to the fringe. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start fringing this part now. So I'm just going to go through, and I'm going to cut into this edge all the way around. And we will fast forward. And thankfully these scissors work really well at this point, so they're cutting nicely. I need to cut this edge. I just realized I have a whole bunch of loops on this back piece. Don't want loops. They won't fringe that way. Okay. Maybe we better do this side. Okay. I may take these sides and trim these side pieces a little shorter and then leave the longer fringe at the bottom. But this allows me to kind of shape it how I want it once I get it fringed. So I like leaving it longer if I can to be able to do that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start fast forwarding now. No, no, Holly Mae. Out you go. Out you go, baby. Out you go. Go on. You're making things hard on me. Go on. Out you go. Back up. Back out. Don't knock my box over. Go on. Out you go. Out you go. I'll be out in a minute. Oh, did I just lie to my dog? Oh, goodness. I did. It's going to be more than a minute. There we go. See how that looks? We've got it all fringed all the way around. There's going to be some that will come off like that one if they were cut thin or whatever. That's okay. If some of them pop out, that's all right. I'm not worried about that. Okay. We've also got this. I pulled out another piece of this. I found another piece of it last night. Or we've got this. This would be cute just across the back piece. I think that would look good back on the back side. That way it keeps it kind of nice and flat. And then we'll do the real decorative part on the front. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So this lace is one that will fray a little bit. I'm also going to put a little bit of this in my tassel. So if I make a tassel, I think I'm going to make a tassel for this one. So we're just going to go like this. And voila. Okay. So I haven't decided if I'm gonna, I want to shorten the sides up just a little bit at least. Just a little. And then I'll decide if I want to take a little more off, but I do want to shorten them up. And all that means is cutting off a layer of a bit of the top layer, because the ones behind it are already shorter. Okay, that looks about even. And then right here on these corners, I want to kind of even it out a little bit. And the rest of it I kind of like the way it is. So I think that's really pretty good for that part. Okay. So there's that. And I should decide, like right now, before I do the heart, should I just use the feather on this one? I think the feather's so cute. And I think it goes so good with this brown denim. Isn't that cute? I have a feeling I'm going to use the feather, so I'm going to put the heart aside for now. I don't think we're going to do the heart. This needs to be glued back on that part, so we're going to go ahead and glue that down. Just the same way we did this. And this is going to get glued right on the front. So now we've got, how many pockets? We've got 3 pockets. Yay! I feel like I should have popped a little bit of glue in there, so I'm doing it. I'll get this right where I want it. And this pocket, it's not like completely square. You see how this kind of goes up on one side? So if it looks like it's crooked a little bit, it's going to look that way because it's not a completely square pocket. And I'm okay with that. I actually kind of liked it that way. What I do feel is I feel like I want to add a little bit of brown fringe underneath there. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm trying to decide too if I actually want to add more fringe to this or if that's going to be just fine the way it is. I think that's kind of just fine the way it is. Let's see. Okay, how big is my little pocket there? It's that big. And I want to take and fold that in half, and we'll just fringe all of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a little tiny bit of glue and fold it over. I'm not going to put a bunch of glue in there, so I'm just going to leave it like that. And we're just going to cut some fringe into this. Okay, so I'm going to take my glue gun, get another piece of glue ready. And I'm going to start with this just like that, kind of round it a little bit. And we need glue, so we'll get it in there. There we go. Isn't that cute? I'm going to have to cut this over here because this side's hanging a little bit longer. Oh, and this room is just boiling hot right now. Part of that is because, remember I said that this little pocket is shaped differently. So that's part of why it looks a little off, but that's the way the pocket is, so. Okay. And this we're going to leave out. All right, you guys. So we have our cute little basic purse here. Let's go ahead and deal with our fringe on this side. And see, that pulled a whole piece out. I don't know why, but it did. You could always add more fringe, guys, if you needed to later on, I suppose. You could find a way to add some fringy pieces to it. But I don't think I need to. I think it doesn't really matter. That was just up on the side, and there's several layers on the sides, so it's fine. I think there's 3 layers of fringe, so it's not going to be noticeable. Oh, and I busted a nail. That was getting ready to go anyway. It was cracked. And let's fringy this up, might as well while we're in the game. Okay, and this piece did not stick with the program, so we're gonna put it back in there and glue it down. I know why. It's because it's the middle piece, and that middle piece did not get glued, so I may have to go back and glue that. No maybes, I'm going to have to do that. But for right now, for video purposes, we'll just go ahead and not worry about that at the moment. And I will go back and do that after I'm done. Oh, I got threads in my feather. Okay, you guys, so that's what the back looks like right now. Okay, there's our little front raggedy pocket purse. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my handy dandy snap thingy, whatever you call this, snap tool, and I think we're going to go ahead, we're going to put a hole right at this pocket to add, there's where it came out, to add our little feather. And what I should do is maybe just, let's see, where'd my, I had a stick out here, but that's okay, this will work. Gonna widen our little hole, and we'll get this little piece of yarn in there and pop it through. And I just don't know if I can get this to tie in a couple of knots. That's the big question of the day. But even if I can get at least one knot in there, yeah, that pulled right through. So let's get it back in there. What I could have done, should have done, is just tied it around this bit right here. And made a knot in it and tied it on. I just don't think I can get enough on it to do that. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put some glue back here on the hole. We're gonna pull that knot right to it. Push the rest of that yarn up against that glue and create a space that will not go through. Just like that. There we go. Now if I can just get this all squared away, because I've messed with it so much. I've got some threads in there from the fringe. Those I can get out no problem. Even got a couple of blue ones from yesterday's fringe. So there we go, that's on there. Cute, cute, cute. And then what I want to do is I'm going to take this is the chain that I want to put on it, just a little gold chain that I had from an old necklace. And we're going to do the same thing, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this, I'd like to go through how do I want to do this? I feel like I want to put it through all of these layers, but I don't know if it'll go through. We're going to give it a shot. Yeah, that's way too much. Okay. So, I'm going to have to go over here. And then, same thing over here. This side's even thicker. So, Oh boy. Maybe what I need to do is go back. I don't want to put it in the pocket. I know what we're going to do. We're going to go through that middle section. I don't know why I didn't think of that in the first place. Yeah, we got a little hole right here. No big deal. This is kind of my practice run anyway on this one. So I'll probably just keep this one for myself. I don't think anybody's going to want to buy this one because it's too experimental. Okay. And what I need to do is get a pen or something. I don't think this is big enough, but we'll give it a shot and see how well this will work. It's just a paintbrush. Oh, it's actually bigger than I thought it was. But I don't know if I can get my little jump ring to go in there. It's too small, but I do have bigger ones. So we'll see if we can get the bigger one to reach around. I've got some good strong big jump rings that are made for like heavy key rings and stuff. Okay. So there's that. And here's my jump rings, my big ones. See, these are real strong ones, real heavy duty jump rings. And I don't know the gauge right now, you guys, because these are ones that my husband gave me from his garage. So, and yes, they are silver, but it's the only color I have in these. So we're just going to put it through this jump ring. And then we're going to try and get it into... I should have gone a little bit closer to the top of the edge. But I do still think I can get this in there and get it to wrap around. Just going to take a little extra work. And I feel it coming through. Where'd it go? Oh, come on. There it is. Woohoo! I got it, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to grab it on that side. Going to grab my other pliers on this side and close that baby right up. So there's one side. Now let's see if we can do the same thing on the other side. And I think what I'll do... let's try and just get this in there so I can see better with just holding on to the ring. Get it through there. I feel it coming through already. Look at there. But this one is not as close to the top as the other one was, but that's okay. I think I can still get this on here and get it hooked up. There we go. Oop. These jump rings are so strong that they are actually harder to put together, but that's okay by me because I know they're going to hold. and they're not going to break and they're not going to go anywhere. So there's that. Got our cute little gold chain on there. And then, let's see, how do we want to do this? I've got this. That would be cute, but then it kind of gets in the way of this little pocket, although it does kind of hide the pocket, so nobody would notice that's a little pocket, although you can kind of tell regardless. Or we could take this and just put a little layer of this right around this edge, which looks extremely adorable. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so let's just take this and go, whoopsies, we did not want to do that. Okay. I just keep grabbing onto the fringes that keep popping back up on this table. There we go. Okay, so there's that. And then we are going to very semi-quickly, we're going to make a little tassel, you guys. We got to have a tassel, right? We're not going to make it too long, but we're going to use one section of this lace, and I'm just going to keep cutting until I got all my strips cut. And they don't have to be straight, you guys. If these go crooked or your cuts go crooked, that's what shabby boho stuff is all about. It's about using the stuff you have around and making it look used and precious and just fun. And there we go. I've got that lace. And then I have some white lace. So we'll cut a couple pieces off of this as well. I already started cutting on this section of this one, so we might as well cut a little more off. And 2 more cuts on this. Get the little middle section, and then I'll cut the last section in 2. And we'll be good on that. And then I want to use a little piece of a cutoff that I have from some of my rose, like a dusty rose colored chiffon, because it'll go good with this. So there's that. And this is my chiffon. Oh, and I have a couple of pieces of mesh fabric. Mesh, what do you call that? I can't think of it right now. not organza. It's, shoot. And this, we can just go like that. And thank you very much. And let's see, and this one we'll just leave wider. Okay. All right, so let's start putting some of these together here. Okay, so there we go. And then I think I've got to cut a piece of something off here so I can tie it around. And maybe even put like a little bow at the top. So that should be long enough, I hope. So we'll just loop it at the top like that. Grab our little piece of lace here. Where's the front gonna be? This is very... I like this side. Okay, so that's gonna be the front. So we're gonna take this piece of lace and lay this down. Okay. Okay, so there we have a pretty little tassel. And then down here, we'll just kind of clip a few of these a little bit shorter. This piece, I feel like I want it to be a little bit more narrow. I don't want to cut into it and then have it cut off. Then I'll be mad at myself for doing that. Okay. All right, so there's that. And that's just going to go kind of off to the side of the leaf like that. So what I should do is maybe take Sorry guys, the kids are out of school at the junior high, and they're awfully noisy when they start coming down the street. And most of them are just rotten. Rotten to the core. It's so sad. You guys, I don't know what's happening to our kids these days. They are just so rotten. And I think it's because parents just have let them live a free life. Do as you want to do, child. Do as you want to do. You're the only thing that matters in this whole wide world. Which I think is just a lazy way of saying, I don't want to take care of you, so take care of yourself and do what you want to do. Problem is, these parents don't realize that if those kids go out and they do something terrible to somebody, parents are responsible for that. So, and I think a lot of these parents, they don't even realize that they're responsible if their kids do damage or hurt somebody or, you know, break something or destroy something. It's terrible. Just awful. Okay, so there's that. Now, I don't know what I could do. I'm going to pull one of these off. I've just got the little flower and the little, like, snowflakey little piece. I think I'm going to glue that onto the center of the bow there on the tassel, just to kind of finish that off. And you see this has got those cute little wooden beads. They're so pretty. And then I wasn't sure if I was going to use a flower or not. These may be way too big, but then they might be cute. That's kind of cute on there, right? I think that's kind of cute. Or that. But I kind of like this one because it tones it down. Tones down the pinks a little bit, I think. We could even take a little piece of that and bring it down off of that. No, I don't think we need that. What do you think, guys? Should we put, where's my lace? I was going to put this across the top of this. That looks very cute on there, doesn't it? I kind of like that. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go with that. Just across here. Let me pop that down right there. And we're going to leave a little bit of the fabric just about at the stitch line at the top there. There we go. Press, 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 press. And then I'm going to just cut this off right there. I don't think I like it right there. I think I've got to go, well, if I'm going to put that flower on there, it really doesn't matter. It'll be fine. I didn't want to get that stuck on there. Okay, so we're going to put our flower right there. Make it look all cute. And then I'm also going to take a piece of this and I'm going to put it across the back. Even though we've got that other lace, we're going to put a piece of this across the back as well. Just so that it's on both sides. And I'm just going to go all the way across across. Okay, and I'm going to snip that right there. Whoops, a little bit more. There we go. Okay, super cute. What do you think, guys? I think it's super cute. And I would carry it around with just you know, my little credit card holder could pop in there, and a couple of little things, my chapstick and a couple of things, and my something in there. And my keys would fit. I mean, look, we've got this pocket, we've got that pocket, and we've got that little pocket. So that is so cute. So, there we have it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we are done for this part of our day. And I will see you guys in the next video. I wish you many blessings. I thank you for subscribing if you're a subscriber. If you're not, I hope you will hit that subscribe button. And give me a like, give me a share, give me a comment. Let me know what you thought about this one and my other videos if you'd like. And I do respond to my comments. So even if it does take me a little bit of time to get back to you, I will always respond. And during the holidays, it was a little harder for me because I was so busy doing other things. But it should get a little bit easier now that the holidays are over. But please leave those messages, and enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hit that hype button. Love you all. God bless you. Bye-bye. Stay tuned for pictures on the back end, would ya? Okay. Bye. Okay, so that's it, you guys. We got it all done. That is a beautiful little boho bag. I am so excited about this. What might be cute is something to go around the edge of that on the back side. I didn't think about that. But either way, I think it looks cute even without anything along that edge. It's just kind of plain, and it will sit nicely against your side with nothing on it. So it's got these 3 pockets, 1, 2, and our little teeny one in front, 3. And I think it's absolutely adorable. There's our tassel. Isn't that pretty? Very lacy, and of course this beautiful little feather. I love, love, love this feather. So these feathers are a lot of fun to make. I think I did a video on how to make these. I'll have to check through my video catalog and see if I have one. If I don't, I will make one, because they are a lot of fun. They're very therapeutic and very, very easy to do. So if you guys like these little feathers, just let me know, and I will consider doing a video or another video on those. So take care, everybody. God bless each and every one of you. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay well. Love your family. Get lots of hugs and kisses, and give lots of hugs and kisses. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like, a share, a comment. And I would greatly appreciate it if you hit that hype button. And have a very blessed day. And I'll see you in the next video. Stay tuned for pictures on the back end. Bye-bye, guys. Love ya. God bless.